Hello everyone. I'm outside, out in the nursery area. Give you a look here. And what I'm going to be working on today is going to be transplanting these basils. And I've done one already, and I'm in the middle of doing another one. So this one right here, I'm getting ready to transplant into this cup, back into the same cup. But what I've done is, I've taken out this soil, which is very I'll show you. That's like water. So it's not very good at holding, it's too good at holding moisture. Very good at holding moisture, it's not well drained. So I got some of this stuff, some of this perlite you call it, right here, perlite, and I've mixed it in with the soil here, and I'm adding it to make these cups a lot lighter and better to drain. So I'm gonna do that to all of these and see how they do. And I'll be trimming some of these up that are too long, like this one, this basil plant. This one's an African blue basil. I'll be cutting it about here and doing some cuttings and putting them in here, so I get more plants from these guys to these as I'm transplanting. So I'll do that as well. And yeah, I'll go ahead and finish up this one, and then I'll show you some of the other ones. Alright guys, I hope you can see all of this. What I'm doing here is transplanting some basil, just back into the same pot. What I'm doing is just replacing the soil from this heavy soil, heavy weight, not good, well drained, into a better soil, one like this, with a lot of perlite. While I'm doing that, I'm taking some cuttings. You got a cutting here, like this, and I'm going to be using some rooting hormone and transplanting that. What you want to do is, wherever you're going to be transplanting you want to make sure that it's wet. And then you'll have your cutting, and what you want to do with your cutting is just kind of take off the bigger leaves. And what I like to do is just kind of pinch here at the top and just hope you can see here, just cut like this. See that? It just does it all in one. And yeah, so there's your cutting right there. Then what I'll do is take my rooting hormone here and just dip it in there, just like that. And just the soil's soft enough to push it in there. And then just tighten it up with your finger like that. Make sure it's really secure in there. You want to make sure it's tight in there, like try to get it there pretty tight. Alright, so that's that. And I'll finish up this one. So put it in there. Add some more soil, and this is mainly like perlite. Just to make it really, really light. yeah, that's that one being transplanted, so set this one to the side. I'm gonna be doing this other one here. Basil. Basil smells really good. Love the smell of basil. So I'll be taking a cutting here. Cutting there. And a cutting there. You can also do this with your fingers because basil is just, you really don't need the clippers. If you got some fingernails, you could just do it like that. And just see this one, just take this off. Take the bigger leaves out because it's producing new ones here at the armpit. And then you want to take this off, just kind of like so. As long as the center's still going to produce some more there. Now you can also, like, I guess tip them, but I'm not going to do that with basil. I feel like it's better to leave it alone on this one. And then you can tip them later on. As they start to come out, you can give them a cut at the top and they get bushier. Press that down really good. You can fit 3 or more in there. And then here's this one. I'll be taking it out like this. It has a lot of sand in there, so it's a little heavy. So yeah, this was just a little too heavy, so I'm gonna be crumbling some of the dirt off. This is a basil plant. You can just kind of shape that off so it's a little lighter. Always keeping the root system intact, of course. You can just tap it on your hand like that and it'll come off, the dirt will come off. I got my cup here, and with these cups all I did was just get these cups at the dollar store, 16 of them for $1. And you could just cut this part off here and do about 3 or 4. That's it. Then what you want to do here is, I like to add a little bit of perlite at the bottom just to keep it well drained down there. And then add some more soil and perlite. Add your plant. Maybe a little bit more. Add your plant in there, and then some more around the plant. All the way around. Make sure you press around it. I'm going to get it really tight, pressed in there. Since it's perlite, it's you know, it's gonna be okay in there. It's not gonna compact too much. Then I take some of my mulch, wood chips, and just put it around. And this just helps with keeping the moisture in there. Even though I want it well drained, I also don't want to be watering all the time. So I just take a little bit of wood chips and put that around. And this really saves on watering these guys so much. So I'll do the rest of those basils and get some cuttings as I go. But I just wanted to show you guys that If you want light soil, perlite will help you with light soil, well drained, and herbs and plants that like well drained soil, not too much rich soil, they'll do good in that. And for cuttings as well, the cuttings love the perlite, well drained. I think it might be better than sand, but we'll see. Got to transplant my other basils here, and some of those other herbs I got to transplant it in this soil and see how it does as opposed to sand. And you were listening to the quails and the doves. So there are the doves. Here I have some of my pesto basil. I took a cutting from the mother plant, and this is its clone. I'm going to take it out of the red solo cup so you can see it. That's some mulch. Root system is not too bad, but this soil is really, really waterlogged. Like if I squeeze it, you guys saw that? It holds too much water. So it's good for holding water, but herbs need well drain as well. They do not just need a bunch of water holding. If this basil would have been planted in a better well drained environment, I believe the roots would have been way bigger and the plant would have been way bigger as well. So I have my cup here and I'm using perlite. Try to put a lot of perlite at the bottom, a little bit more sand and perlite there, and I just fill it to about halfway. Get my little basil plant and put it right there. Not too much. I'm trying to just create a very light pot, very light soil. I want it to be well drained, but I still don't want to come out and water all the time. I know I still have to water, but so that's why I put this little bit of mulch around. This mulch just kind of helps preserve the humidity and the moisture in there, as well as protect it whenever I water it from all that perlite coming out, just all the soil washing out and stuff. So mulch comes in handy. And this is probably, way lighter. It's definitely way lighter than the other one. So I've transplanted all of those, and I'm gonna give them a few days to see their progress and see if they're liking their new home, their new soil medium. And I'll let you know how things are doing. I'm also trying it in my cuttings, trying to use more perlite and less sand, and I'll let you know how that's working out for me. Hello everyone, I'm back out here, and I just wanted to show you guys I'm making this heavy rosemary pot into a light rosemary pipe, meaning it doesn't weigh as much. And all I'm doing is using some of this aerosol, which is this stuff right here, perlite. You can find it under perlite, and I recommend that if you can get it at your local co-op. That's probably a better idea than getting it online. I got this for $20 at the co-op as opposed to like $50 online. So yeah, this is awesome. Just wanted to show you guys that I'm making my pots a lot lighter by doing this, and they'll be able to drain better, which the roots should get out there, you know. With the roots constantly, with the soil constantly holding water, it doesn't allow the roots to look and search for more water. So yes, the roots just stay small, even rot away if they have too much water, and that's kind of like what I'm seeing with all my pots. So I'm doing this. Still have to add a little bit of soil, not too much, but just make it as light as possible. And yeah, I'll let you know how everything's going, how everything's turning out after the perlite experiment. And to me, it seems like it's gonna be great.